Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Crafting with Lillian. Tonight it's one of our Create With Me ones, so I hope you've gathered your supplies and you're all set to go. My name is Lillian Kemp. I am from Spruce Grove, and that's in Alberta, Canada. So welcome to all of you, and just a little heads up, this is actually not a live. This is pre-recorded. I had another commitment tonight, so I recorded it and I am posting it here at 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time so that we don't miss out on our time together. So let's just go down to the desk and see what we have in store. So just going to get the camera focused, and then the next thing will be get the computer in the right spot, and then we should be all set. So let's move that up. I know there's reflection there. I'm going to take care of that in a moment. So let's make sure I'm recording, and I am, so that's all good. There. And there we go. Turn the sound off. So I wanted to share one of the ways I come up with card ideas, and lots of you know that I do case the catalog. I get inspired by other demonstrators. Sometimes it's my own idea, and other times I case my own cards. So this is the card we're going to case tonight. It's the layout that we're going to case. So this one, this card here is made with this beautiful stamp set. It's the Hostess stamp set from the annual catalog. Touched my heart. I love the fonts. I love the illustrations. It is absolutely beautiful. So this, what I'm casing from this card is the layout. So we're going to case the background pieces here, and the stamped area here, and the vellum layer. So let's put that just to here, and I'm going to show you one other case I made of this card. I did this with my downline. We were focusing on not only layouts, but fancy folds. So I used the Beautiful World stamp set, and I did the exact same layout. So it's the same size and everything. So solid paper for a base, basic white layer, designer paper, vellum, and basic white again. This time, though, we did a fun fold. So look what happens when you open it up. Isn't that neat? So I am working on a fun fold class, so keep your eye out. We will be doing something like that. So those are two cards made with the same layout that we're going to focus on tonight. So let's bring in our pieces, the pieces I had you gather. The card base piece that I am going to use is Misty Moonlight. So it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So in other words, it is scored in half. So let's bring our bone folder in and burnish that fold and take the little tags off. So we've got our card base ready. Then, and how did I decide on that color? From my designer paper. My designer paper is the Butterfly Bijou designer paper. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I thought it went with the Misty Moonlight. It covered sort of unisex. It has all different colors in here, and that piece is 4 3/4 by 2. And it is going to layer onto the Whisper White that is 5 by 2 1/4. So it's going to just go like that. So already we can see our basic card coming together. Then I have my vellum, and this is an optional layer. I'm just really into vellum right now for some reason. So, and that is 4 by 3.5, and then the basic white is 3.5 by 3, and it's going to layer on top of that. So let's work with the basic white, the 3.5 by 3 to begin with. And I hope that you've gathered a stamp set or two that you might want to use, and why don't you just share what occasion do you need a card for coming up? I always need birthday cards, of course, but there's all kinds of other cards that I need. And sometimes I need just a general type of card. And so I looked at one of my favorite stamp sets that I haven't shown a whole lot to you. It's called Treasures of Life. Now, this focuses on being a grandparent, but it doesn't have to be for a grandparent card. There are some fabulous designs here, and I'm going to show you more at the end. But so it's on page 71 of the mini catalog. So it's Treasures of Life, and it has these great images and great words. I also thought it would go well. I'm not using it tonight, but I will be, from the annual catalog, A Grand Kid. So good, happy birthdays, congratulations, so proud of you. But some of these are actually grand kid wording. So, and that is found on page 97 of the annual catalog. So, and some great samples here as well. So I need to play with that a little bit more. And I've given my downline the challenge to make kid related cards, cards that would be suitable to give to a kid. So I think I might be breaking this out for that challenge. So let's look at how I am going to use Treasures of Life on this particular card. I zeroed in on this because to me this isn't just a grandparent, it can be for anything. And I have grandchildren living overseas, so I thought this might work into a nice card for them, but it could be for anybody. And so that is the image that I have mounted here. And then I'm going to use the words, "and the love only grows." This could have gone on the inside, but I decided to put it on the outside because it just kept it a little more generic and stayed with the stamp set. I could have easily brought in words from another stamp set, of course, too, but I was sticking with this, and I had realized I hadn't put one of my lights on, so I just turned it on, so it's all a little brighter right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to stamp it in Memento Black instead of Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight would be beautiful, but I want to color the little heart here. And Memento Black plays nicely with our blends, although I could have used pencil crayon or something else. So there, we've got that inked up. And let's see if I can get it straight looking through the camera. There we go. Did I get it straight? I think it's going downhill a little. I'm going to do the other side and then I'll pick the best. Okay. I think I went downhill on that one too, so I think I'll stick with the first one. I got a better image there, and I will move on to this. And ink up the hands. Now, these hands always deke me out, so I look more at the heart for my placement, and then the hands are sort of angled. There we go. Mind you, I could angle the heart too, so it doesn't really matter. It looks like I could re-ink my Memento ink pad one of these days. So there we've got the image. So the only coloring I'm going to do is with the for the heart, and I didn't have any of the colors pink. I didn't have Blushing Bride or Magenta Madness blends, and so I thought I brought in a scrap piece of paper and played with some of the pinks that I have, and I thought maybe Rococo Rose. See, that's one color there, and so here's the light. So that's the light and dark. I'm going to bring in my designer paper, and which one goes better? I think the dark Rococo Rose would work just fine. So I'm going to substitute that. So that's always a trick to do if you only have a selection of blends and you don't know what is going to, you don't have the exact color. layer some of them down on scrap paper and hold them, and you'll find one that's going to work pretty closely, I am sure. So there, that's all I did. I'm putting that on that. And so now I am going to fasten this. Now you might say, what's this? Blends bleed through. That's why you always put something underneath. They are supposed to bleed through. They saturate all the way through. Now I'm getting put this onto my vellum. And I was, for some of you learning to use the new Stampin' Seal, it works beautifully. I'm in love with it, but you do have to break the fiber just at the end. So I was making it a little exaggerated. That's the word I'm wanting. Just to remind you to just flick your wrist up at the end and you will be good to go. Now, why am I putting it on the vellum first? Because then when I go to fasten it on my card, I know that I'm going to put any adhesive I'm using right here. That's going to be hidden. So let's assemble the other part of the card here. And you can see that I was stamping on the back side of this and goofed. So it, but nobody knows that, right? So I'll just glue it down well. And the rest of the world does not know that there's an oops on the other side. There we go, just like that. And then I'm going to add adhesive to this and fasten it right down. So I'll bring this back in. Whoops, I moved that. Just a second. Let's get this down. And yay for liquid adhesive. I'm going to peel it right off. There we go. So we'll center this. I'm trying to center too many things at once here. And bring this back in. And center it. And some of you know that I sometimes like to do 1/8 inch borders, but I stuck with the 1/4, so it kept it just nice and easy. So now we've got the front of our card. I could have stamped something in the background here, but I'm not going to. And this is going to go on here, and I've got sticky fingers. And a friend of mine mentioned that she keeps a wet sponge in a little dish on her desk so she can wipe her fingers off. And I thought, that's brilliant, but I haven't remembered to do that yet. But it sounds like a really good idea to me. And I'll put a couple here. So I want to put this on dimensionals. There we go. Peel those off. This card comes together really, really easily. So you could make a whole selection of cards using this design and then give it as a gift even. So now, and you can always angle, but I'm going to go for this straight look right now. And there's our basic card. Now I could bring in a wink of Stella and make that little heart just a little shinier, just to accent it even more. And then of course you can always bring in embellishments, and I will do that in a minute, but I wanted to show you something about the inside of the card. So for the inside of the card, I haven't decided what words I'm going to put here, but I learned this from Karen Gardner. She took a scrap of paper and mounted it on the coordinating cardstock, and then when she stamps her words, she puts this just below, and it just brings it all the way through. Because I don't know where my words are going to go or what they are, I'm going to put mine down here so that it is ready to go when I stamp it. So let's put a bit of adhesive on there. Whoops! And drop the sticky thing. That's all fun and games, right? And I'm going to put it down here like that. So that's just a way of bringing the front into the inside like that. And then of course you can add this to your envelope flaps, that kind of thing. So let's see, what kind of embellishments should we put on here? Any ideas? I forgot to get any out, so I am going to bring a few in here. So we have the in color enamel dots. Oh, I just remembered one that I didn't grab, and I think it's the one I want. So that has the misty moonlight. And I think I want the elegant gems, perhaps. The elegant gems, they come in a package like this. They have the three, the clear, the champagne, and the white. And let me just see here. Whoops, wrong end. Da, da, da. Yes, the opal rounds would have looked nice too. There are just so many choices. I'm going to go with these clear ones here. Put one down here. And just a couple up there. And there we have our card. So I hope that you are actually making this card either with me or shortly thereafter. And I would also hope that you post it. So remember, this is the card. This was the layout we cased. And here's another example of the same card. So now I want to show you some other samples using this stamp set. So let me just move a couple of things out of the way here. This stamp set was inspired by a lady in the States named, better get her name straight, Gail Murray. So she's a demonstrator who reached $1 million in sales. And when that happens, you get some very special treatment and you get to have a hand in designing a stamp set. And so this is the one that she helped design and inspire. So when we were at our last convention, she demonstrated some cards using this stamp set. And I've cased some of her cards. So these are cased from Gail. This one here, the joy of grandchildren is measured by the heart, and I just love how this came together like that. This I received in a swap just recently, so the curvy dies here and some coloring there. I'm going to save those just for a minute. And again, this is the doily, our gorgeous doilies here. So this layer has the subtle embossing folder. This doily, then the heart die, and the back of it, the front of it is stamped, but the back of it is colored with one of the pink blends. I think the Rococo Rose. And then just putting 3 pearls here. Wouldn't that be a gorgeous new grandparent card? I think it's just gorgeous. And you could actually take this design and switch this and make it an anniversary card. So that would be beautiful. Then the other things that she showed, and she showed them with one layer. I actually did 2 because I goofed up on the bottom layer. But these are note cards. So sometimes it's fun just to have something small. So these our note cards come already with envelopes, and they're already cut and scored. So those of you who really like to have things partially prepared for you, this is a good idea to go with. So the note cards are this size here, and then they have an envelope to match. So you're all set to go. You can stamp right on there, and it's excellent. Are there any other things in the catalog that are a bit like this? Yes, there are, and I think they're sleepers sometimes. So remember, I'll just show you the page that the note cards are found on. They are found on the same page you find your doilies and envelopes and all of that. So the note cards are found right here. They come in basic white and very vanilla. So you get 20 of what in one package. But over the page from that, in with the memories and more, there are these 2 things. So this one here, it is cards and the envelopes. And the envelopes have this lining in them already. And the cards are like this, so they can be used this way or this way, and they make beautiful cards. So I've used lots, and I have very few left, but let me just show you some that I have made with that. So there's this one here, and then it's got, of course, the matching envelope. These are the current in colors, the ones that go for one more year. Here somebody did with the Magenta Madness and then used the cards from the Memories and More to make this one here. And yes, they're white inside, so they are easy to work with. Here I use that celebration paper and use this as my frame. So there's lots you can do with those, and the work is partially done for you because the bottom layer is cut and scored already. The other thing to take note of on this page is the Assorted Memories and More cards and envelopes. I just love these. I kind of didn't notice them at first, but what you get is you get two sizes of envelopes. So one is slightly smaller than the note cards, and the other one is just a little bit bigger. Whoops. Than our regular card bases. So these fit the Memories and More cards if you were wanting to. Then you've got two sizes of cards. So again, they come cut and scored. You just have to fold them. So there's that size and this size. So if you're looking for something already prepared so that you can just grab it and do some quick craft card making, I would suggest taking a look at this. I keep them on hand all the time and grab them for quick and easy cards. So do take a note of that. So that's it for tonight. Again, please share what you make and have some fun. And there's our card back again. All right, take care. Bye-bye.